Hey guys, welcome back. It's Elucid, and we've got another turn here with friggin' Allstars. Frickin' Allstars. Okay, so this is a interesting turn. They've been getting a little easier. In some ways, I think a lot of this has been getting like the turns have been taking. They still take a while, but they take like an hour or two rather than like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Some of that is because now the war is going in our favor. The other part is because we kind of know what they're doing. Whereas before there was a lot of like, what are they going to do? Also, like, sorry, I got the yawns a little bit. Also, how many mages they were going to bring was kind of like a big variable. And that changes how you have to think about the battle. So basically, at the beginning of this war, it was like a very wide path where it could branch and go all these different places, and we had to think through all of those. And as we're entering this phase, this part of the war at least is more narrow. Like we kind of know what's happening. So yeah, let's go through this turn. I didn't show y'all all of the finished moves for the previous turn. I kind of talked about the things we would do. Went and implemented it. Zach and I talked about it a little bit, but yeah, I actually had different ideas than Zach on one of the moves, and it turns out my intuition I think was pretty right. But we'll get through that. Magic Sight, didn't find anything. Cast Twiceborn on our god. We didn't actually teleport our god to the cheap Twiceborn place because that would waste a god turn. Cast Raven Feast. We got attacked by Mind Hunt. He's doing low pin Mind Hunts. It's not really working. And somebody did it in a place where we had an Astral Mage. So he's gotten a fair number of his dudes feeble-minded from doing this. And he's only killed a couple nurses. He's wasted so many pearls casting it. It's a really bad deal for him. Anyhow, so first thing was we magic phased on top on top of this dude. And this was just like a little small force. Oh no, this is the fort. Right? So this is just some random fort. And for some reason he's randomly patrolling. I mean, I don't know if he's trying to catch Shaitan or what. But let me actually check real quick. Does this guy have like patrol gear at all? No. But here's how a Chief Churgeon does. Sadly, the druid gets away. But that actually may not be that sad, because we may steal him. He's very, very angry. I wish I did him an attack animation. I went and looked at it. I have an attack animation in there, but I forgot to actually animate it. So it's like an empty attack animation. Feels a little bad, man. All right, so the point of this wasn't really killing these guys, but that certainly is nice. The point of this was making sure the coast is clear for our Shaitans. Oh yes, for our Shaitans. And we snipe some guys here and here and here. These Great Boar of Carnutes are actually a little dicey. I think this first one especially. We can steal them. Oh wait, no, does it say not even remotely interested? No. That's kind of cool. This guy just goes in melee and freaking knifes him. Knifes him real good. Yoink. And then we corrupted a priest of all things. Great. And then we have another battle with the Boar of Carnutes. Get those out of the way. So that's all fine. Over here... This is Satalis raiding, not raiding. He's returning these guys back to that fort that we Cloud Trap pieced this Melkord on. So these guys were part of that other army, and he's like, okay, we'll just go home with them. And he sends them home. He didn't even have to have them patrol. We just came over here and knifed them. So that was a kind of freebie, which is nice. Wait, which one was that? That was, oh god, am I? Oh, that was this one. That was the first one, okay. Next, we're attacking Mammon. We did a lot of raid orders this turn. Mammon having lost a lot of the initiative, we were like, okay, let's go and do some heavy raiding. Summon a bunch of imps. Have a bunch of long dead. This is a fair amount of PD. I think this is, I went and checked afterwards. To get 20, yeah, this is 20 PD. So, not trivial. Here, there's just... I have... you couldn't see him behind, but there's a Plague Doctor in this dude. This dude was basically doing Blood Heal and supposed to do some imps. For whatever reason, he runs away. He's not even damaged. He's about to run. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him that he ran. Maybe he got... Did he get hit? Oh, casting it and draining took a damage and then ran. That's okay. He's out of here. He was at 1 HP. He was going to die this turn. We'll get a few more long dead out of him. That was this one. Down here, Satalis is attacking with these small little raiding squads that have worked really well against our just kind of like generic garbage long dead. But we have a Melkort here. And the Melkort goes chop, 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 chop. And he will chop up most of these guys on the way out. So that's nice. We chopped up this. So this is just classic counter raiding. Basically, that's what most of this... We did a bunch of raiding against Mammon, and then we did a bunch of counter raiding against Satalis, because we had already done a bunch of raiding against... So this one, we kind of caught the bus here. He's got an Ananqui who Sabbaths up, and then some Chuds. And so this is a counter raid force from Mammon, and some bats. Now, a lot of this is actually fine, because we actually stomp a lot of the boars. And by the time the Chuds get up, we have enough chaff that our guys are like, peace. So our mages live. If we look at it, we lost like 40 long dead, but we killed a fair amount of beast bats and boars. And we also killed a thaumaturg because he burnt out the communion. He didn't quite kill him in combat. He had like negative HP from undying. But yeah, anyway, no gems burnt though, but not bad. I mean, I would have rather had the raid been successful, but we don't get to pick these things. We just do the best we can with what we're given. This was a little raid squad. There's almost nothing here. He decided he needed to use blood slaves, even though there were literally like 6 PD, if that. So I think that might be 3. No, I think it's 6. All right, game. I was probably right on the edge. Here he's... This is my force that was on top of that fort that has his army pinned inside of it. And he just sent the smallest little thing, like thinking I just had a scout. I didn't have a scout. I had a Plague Doctor and some long dead. So I'm going to let him come out here and kill me. Okay, and then this is the big... So that was that. And then this is the big one. Griffin Rock. All right, get out the popcorn. This is this small army. It had some whites in it, and it was a little bigger before because it suffered some attrition. That killed basically my medium, my small, how should I say it? That like 200 undead army. That had a teeny weeny bit of mage support, but no gems. That were running around. He anticipated it real well, caught them, and then punished them with this. And then me, thinking that he would be pretty happy off the flanks of that win, would go raiding with this. we had 2 of these traps up. He had basically 2 moves he could make with this army, and we put one of these in each of those provinces. And basically, he's doing this strategy, which is this little ball of death, where they're all going to get fluffed, and then they're going to kill everything, spamming Iron Blizzard and stuff. And he's going to get Iron Warriors and Luck and Body Ethereal on them, and we're like, okay, well, let's do Darkness and Rigor Mortis and Mass Flight. And you don't get time to buff people. And when you're done buffing, you're going to be fatigued out, and then you'll be dead. And they haven't routed yet, but they're about to. Little friendly fire. We're losing a couple Churgeons. Almost killed that one. He probably got some afflictions off that. Yeah, lost an eye and crippled. But he can still pick up his cleaver, goddammit. Pick up his cleaver, he will. So in these, you can see these guys' stats suck in the dark. Well, and they're routing, so a huge penalty. It's not really fair to look at it when they're routing. But yeah, no survivors. Burn the huts with the women and children in them. That was this one. So we killed 12 mages, well, 13, including the illusionist, and then about 20 of each of these elite warriors and knights. All for a very, very modest price. We spent a fair number of gems. There's probably like 10 gems or something in the battlefield enchantments, but it was nice. It was worth it. And we stormed this fort. And this was the fort we were assassinating some of the boars of Carnutes that were inside. And there's not much in here. There's one thaumaturg. I think I lose a mage here. Oh, no, we don't. We steal a great boar, though. Sweet. And we destroyed the temple there. Events. Got bad events. And, we got sort of bad event, but we got nature gem, so a good event. And then unrest. And these are some forts we're just sitting on top of. And this guy is Valor. Heroic Valor. That's better leadership, I believe. So, that's the turn, basically. And the question is what to do. So let's take a look at the situation. We've taken this fort now. We've taken this fort and this fort. So we've taken 3 forts off Mammon. Mammon's in the shitter. His god isn't out. And I think that we were expecting Mammon to move everything on top of this fort because this army was very, very weak. So there's bad things that can happen. And this actually is a kind of complicated battle to plan. Because we're converging from multiple angles, that means I probably need redundancy such that if this army pushes over here and we have a fight over here, these guys will at least do sort of useful things, if you follow. I don't think he's going to do that. I think what he's going to do is wait for his god. Because I don't think the god's up. It could be, and maybe it's not showing up in the scout report, but it showed up before. So yeah, I think we basically move here and lock this down. Now, if I was worried about these guys joining and having a big fight, I would bring the pans. All right? But I don't want to bring the pans. And the reason is because I want them to be a surprise, and I want to get off that very, 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 very fast beast mastery. And I want to steal all of these boars. I need those boars. They're very important for all of my science. So the problem is if we go on top of this, here's what I think. I think most likely he's going to patrol this with like 100 long dead or something, right? Like enough to gym bait. And then he's going to have his final ride out next turn. So, and I also think this army is going to come up here. So we're probably going to patrol or protect this province somehow, one way or the other. Um, anyhow, because I think that's what he's going to do, that he's going to basically hang tight one turn. I don't want him to see my pans and the army loaded up with pin gear, or he would know. So they're going to come in, because we've got Beast Mastery just this turn. We got Thumb 8. We're making a pit stop now at Evocation 6 to get Wailing Winds, and then we'll also be close to Firestorm if we need to do that in a pinch. But Firestorm would be really good against the Talus. Keepers of the Chalice. But, yeah, anyway. We're going to move a mountain of dudes here, and we want to have it so it's successful whichever way these guys come together. We are going to need to make sure we leave at least 2 matrices behind, because these guys really are going to need a matrix. I mean, they technically could do Strength of Gaia and all that, but then it'll go up after Anti-Magic and it won't work very well. We want it hot, like fresh, right out of the spell oven. And yeah, this is basically it. We need to be Nature 6 to cast it. You can technically cast it as Nature 5, which is interesting. It means this guy could cast it with a mace. I don't know if it will let you cast it. It's so much fatigue, it might freak out. Anyway, it'll be fine as part of a communion. So we do that. We steal all of the boars, but that'll be not this turn, next turn. We're probably going to do some light raiding here. I have to figure out what we're going to defend this with. The nice thing about this Thaumaturg dying is this Ananqui isn't Death 4 and will not be Death 4 since he's not really part of a communion anymore. He might be able... Actually, he probably could get a Thaumaturg from the capital. I don't know. We're going to try to hold this, is basically the long and the short of it. But yeah. That is basically the play over here. Making big moves on this. Down here, there's a bunch of different options. Here's where we killed the little raiding party, or the small army. Here's where his army is trapped. It's pinned inside this fort. We're going to Lamashta it, so maybe Friendly Fires, Gifts of Heaven his own dude, or Jim Burns or whatever. We could move the whole army here and surprise it. Like, surprise, motherfucker. The move I kind of like is to go ahead and put pressure on this and take this fort. If he breaks out, then great. We need to have enough stuff here so that next turn we'll take the fight. You know, like, we'll be ready to go. The problem is, it's not a... We don't really have super great options for this. Well, here's the thing. We can do bone grinding, and we need to make sure we have enough matrices and gems to do all the bone grinding. So we're going to have a total of 4 matrices here. We're going to need to make sure we have enough death mages. I think that death 3 is enough with the number of... Yeah. With the number of brains in a jar we have, 3 will be enough. But we're going to need to make sure we have enough gems, and then we're going to do a big bone grinding play. If we don't see the counter, by the way, to bone grinding is a faster casting hat, so a Crown of the Magi, on a high-powered air mage. Now, one problem he'll have with that is his Fog Warriors caster has an air hat boosting him, which means if he takes that off, he's not getting boosted anymore. So he needs an Air 4 Haggadrot or his god with a fast casting hat. If he doesn't have that, we'll just bone grinding and kill his whole army. So anyway, but that's basically the plan. We're going to move a boatload of dudes here, put the screws on these guys, and yeah, that's basically the plan. Das ist die Planen. So yeah, I think that's basically it. And that's totally not how you say plan in German. I have no idea how to say it. I know the most teeniest amount of German. Anyhow, Yeah, I think that's the play. We're going to keep this guy in reserve, and he'll magic phase in. We might need to have him make one more crystal matrix. I'm pretty sure we will. Pretty sure we will. We literally cannot have enough of these. So things are looking pretty good. Pretty darn good. The real question is how long until Vinland comes and helps? Because I think he should. There's a lot of complexity to it, you know, like... well, there's not that much complexity. I think he should help. Because we're getting out of hand. The complexity is that he was planning on going after these dudes. And also the second Sea of Ice comes off, they're going to be in trouble a little bit. Right? Because all these underwater dogs are going to pour out of the sea. So... but nevertheless, that's all important, but it's a second priority, I think, to us running away with the game, which is certainly the state we are in right now, right? And this is on the heels of a bunch of victorious battles, so it's not going to slow down. It's going to get worse. We're going to be like double or triple people size, and then it's going to be real bad news bears. Over here, by the way, here's all our Shaitans. I'll show you the script we've got. Incinerate, Phoenix Pyre, attack closest. And this basically... they should all die to turn 1 Incinerate. If for some reason they don't, they're going to do Phoenix Pyre. Do I want to attack closest? I think I want to attack rear. And this gives them a chance to spawn next to... wait, this guy can do Incinerate, okay. But yeah, this gives them a chance to spawn, basically fly over near the mage, and then if they die, they'll blow up, and they'll live, and the mage will be gone. And then, yay, they won. So we'll see. I haven't tested this or anything, so I don't exactly know how it will work, but I presume it will kind of work. This guy, we brought him Shade Mail, so he's sneaking out. And there's probably going to be some Mind Hunts here. I'll probably lose a Shaitan to it, but that's fine. Hopefully, I don't think we'll lose the Milkward. He's got 21 MR, and there's a bunch of other dudes in the province with him. But yeah, things are looking mighty, mighty, mighty fine. Mighty fine. What is in here? Oh, we need to get this, because we really need these air gems. We'll probably have to send some kind of raiding squad down here. What did he attack with this? Almost nothing. Where's our disease dude? This is him. This is him. This is the guy who blood healed in this battle over here. I'll have to make sure he's put to good use. But I think that's it, boys. I think that's it. We should look to dial the rating pressure up a good bit if we can. The problem is we don't really have a ton of troops to throw away, and there's a lot of things like this one I think is safe to hit. He can only reinforce it from here, and we can attack through this province down here with the support of this dude, which I think should win. I think this army is going to stay still. I think actually a safe move is to have these guys come in here and raid. I don't think he's going to try to hold this. There's no real reason to. I think this army is trying to get... It's probably trying to catch some stuff. Or I don't know what it was trying to do. We wanted to hit this with an air Milkwort. The problem with hitting it with an air Milkwort is... I think the Chuds hit hard enough they'll kill him. And they have magic weapons and stuff. I don't think it'll work. I don't think it will work. I mean, it could work. But it probably won't. Probably won't. We're not really desperate. We don't need to do that. We also don't have another Iron Face. Our Iron Face is currently on duty over here. And that would allow him to face tank. If we had the Iron Face, I would do it. But what are we going to do? We finally weren't poor for the first time, which is a great feeling. We're building a temple, not here, because this one we're not convinced we're going to hold yet. We have to win maybe another battle. We're pretty convinced we're going to hold this now, so we went and templed that. But what else? We're templed this because I'm pretty sure we're going to hold this. And I think we're templing this right now too. So we can start making... Well, so we can start blood sacrificing out of it, amongst other reasons. But yeah, I think if we're building 2 temples, I wonder if that kicks us up. It does. That'll put us at 12 Dom strength with Dominion conflict bonus of 1. That's a lot. That's a lot. I'm really surprised our Dominion graph isn't going more crazy, because we really are slamming the blood sacrifice hammer. I mean, we are pumping it. And look, I mean, these guys have done a great job keeping it out of their land. Everybody really has. We haven't been slamming it for super long, but we've been slamming it for a while. Where did I got some, can't remember where it was. I thought we had some heretics, the heretic event. I'll have to go back and look at old episodes or something. But that's basically it, guys. The other thing I'll just say, El Shu, I think things are good. I actually should send them a message. But they took this fort, so that's certainly a good sign. We should send them good tidings. Actually, we'll do that here. We see you have taken 56. March 4th, brave warriors. We're probably gonna have to fight them in not long. Not by our choosing, we're too big. We're too big. People are gonna coalition us. And we didn't really want to, it's this really weird thing, which is like, I've talked about this before on the channel, but you know, something true is something false, right? And there's this idea we have that something either is or isn't, and it's knowable, like ahead of time. Like we can say if something's true or not. And there's a classic example of somebody of like runs on the bank, where if you say, oh, this bank's financially insoluble and, you know, it's going to go under, everybody freaks out and they run to the bank to get their money out of it, so they're not the ones stuck with their money in the bank. It's called a run on the bank. So everybody does it. The problem for the bank is when everybody does it, then they don't have enough funds at hand to just give everybody back their money. They're all the money's tied up in loans and stuff. They've given it out. They've lent it. So anyway, it could have been the bank was fine, but as soon as there was like an alarm, then they were not fine. Now, that is very relevant, I think, to our situation, because we were probably starting to snowball, but so was Mammon. Like, things were going to go crazy. And when we fought each other, whoever won was going to get so big and be so scary, unless one of us put the hurting on each other, that we just crippled each other, which so far hasn't really happened. But, you know, if that had happened, it might not have been like this. But, you know, if it didn't, then basically whoever won, it would be this big, terrible, horrible thing everybody has to deal with. So, yeah, that's... like, people could say at the beginning, like, oh my god, they're so scary, we have to coalition this nation or whatever. And it's not really true then. Like, if people coalitioned me before now, then Mammon would just eat me. If Mammon ate me easily, it would be a huge problem. And I think, honestly, they scale really, really hard. I was going to say harder than us, or like harder against people who don't know how to deal with all their bullshit. I feel like Sack and I kind of know how to deal with all the bullshit. But, yeah. Anyway, it certainly is true now. People need to take action. They need to take action. And I would love to figure out a way to negotiate my way out of the ensuing coalition. Like, I want to say, like, okay, tell me what you want to not be in a coalition. Like, tell me what lands you need, what you want me to give up, and we'll see if we can do it. And people would have pretty significant demands, like, you know, Gripazon would probably want a bunch... Everybody would probably want a little piece. We have to figure out how much of it we want to give up. The other... I think it's probably better to just fight people. Because they're going to coalition us. I think people are about as weak after this as they're going to be. But I think we're within 5 turns we're gonna get coalitioned. Hopefully it's 5 and not 2. Like, hopefully people let us do the death blow to Mammon is what I want. Let us do the goddamn death blow. If in 2 turns we have a huge battle and we've taken Mammon out and people want to coalition us, fine. Don't do it before then. It's probably wise for people to do it before then, by the way, because Mammon has really fucked their position now. They picked a war and they were not ready. They didn't know the kind of heat that Zach and I were packing. So yeah, they've lost so much. I mean, they could totally come back and win, but they would need to just crush us on the field, which is possible. But we've done a huge damage to their Mage Core, all their reanimating stuff. Tons of damage. We've definitely taken them back like many, many turns. But they could turn it around. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling long enough now. Hope you guys have enjoyed. We'll see you next time.